You can't replace your grocery bill, but you can reduce it. Let me say that again. You cannot replace your grocery bill, but you can reduce it. Hey everyone, Dr. Eve. Hope all is well. I am Dr. Eve, and over here on my channel, we talk about all things well being and building a strong home economy. And I'm super excited to share how I reduce my grocery bill, right? It's a beautiful morning here on the homestead, and I wish that every human could experience, homestead experience, those who desire, because not everyone desires it, let's be clear. But I wish that everyone will get to this place one day to be able to sit amongst nature and to find the peace that God wants us to have, with chickens squawking in the background and birds squawking in the trees and nature just absolutely doing its thing. Um, I was sitting here this morning and just really in the cool of things, just pondering all the amazing blessings. And I was reading some text last night. I'm reading this book called Surrender All by Priscilla Shire. And my daughter and I are reading it together, and it's just so exciting. And, I am reminded that God, He was a gardener, and Jesus is the vine, and we are the branches. I thought how amazing that is. The gardener, the vine, and the branches to do the work that He's called us to do. That blessed my absolute soul. Um, but I want to share with you all that, there's this perception that's happening that somehow you can fully sustain without a grocery bill. And that's just, in my opinion, not true. There will be things that you will need unless you're living like a Nathaniel, right? And you're using tissue leaves to, you know, clean yourself. And so I want to be clear about that. But how can you reduce your bill? There are always going to be things that you will need from somewhere, unless again you're living like the Nathaniels back in the ancient days when these things that we have available to us were not available. But many of us have experienced the convenience and of grocery stores, the convenience of buying fresh, the convenience of buying, quick, fast, right? And it's difficult at best to completely rely on a garden, and some of us don't even have, soil. But can we still grow? Absolutely. I think the most important thing to remember is that growing your own economy is defined by you. What's important to you, right? Now, it's important thinking about your economy from your family perspective because um, there's so much going on in the world and so many things that have added to poor health, right? So, so when I think about my economy, I think about my health. I think about, safe food. I think about my, my grocery bill. I think about, all the things and where can I pull from? Where can I minimize the um, the harm that's being done by inflation? And so when I look around me, it's been 4 years since I've started this homestead journey. And although I've planted before, I understood grocery, all of this before, but never ever to this magnitude. And so when I think about my grocery bill, I think about, okay, next year, this time, how can I minimize my purchases for fruit? How can I minimize my budget over time, right? And over time, what I have seen through this journey is that um, maybe a $13 blackberry, that $13 blackberry is now yielding me pints and pints and pints of blackberries. I don't have to buy blackberries anymore. And can I get more? Absolutely. Add another $13 blackberry, right? Hey there and welcome. I think about the blackberry seeds. Can I not have to buy the blackberry tree? Absolutely. You could use that $13, that one $13 blackberry, plant it, let it grow, and continue to offer you blackberries, but get the seeds as well. And then you plant some more, right? Thank you so much. And let's think, okay, so what gives you seeds? Let's think about my peach trees that grew. Absolutely yielded me peaches this year. Did not the first or second year, but the third year I got peaches. So every peach seed I can now plant in the ground and multiply for years to come. So there is a method. And basically, what I'm saying is you have to start. Like, it won't happen immediately. It becomes a skill that you learn over time, and each year with each plant, one seed, one pot, one plant, one plot, right? So I encourage you not to think that it's going to replace your grocery bill somehow, because I still go grocery shopping. But instead of going to the grocery store, I go to the nursery and buy some more groceries. Some of y'all gonna catch that later. If I go to the nursery and I buy 6 collard plants, I'm buying that for $5. Now, mind you, a pound of collards is gonna cost you upwards of $10, $15. Well, no, they're gonna be about $1, maybe $2, because stuff is going up. Maybe about 2.50. I don't know anymore because I don't buy them anymore. I don't have to. I have the seeds. Every time I want some collards, I plant another seed. Plant in succession, and baby, they gonna keep coming, right? So I have all kinds of seeds. And the thing is, if you don't let something go to seed, plant something and let it go to seed, you minimize ever having to buy collards again. Because guess what? The seed that got you the collards is going to get you the collards that's going to get you some more seeds. I need y'all to understand how this actually works, right? And so let's think about the tomato. There's this tomato. My tomatoes did not do well this year, but baby, they blooming right now. I didn't give up, and I kept planting in succession. I got bees flying around here, y'all, and it's October. What? Tomorrow's October 1st. I have big, beautiful tomatoes. Big, beautiful tomatoes blooming right now. What's gonna happen? They gonna drop seeds and volunteer. Y'all know I have watermelons in the yard that I did not plant a seed for. I I left it there, and because I left it there, it softened and all the seeds went into the soil. So now I've got the largest watermelon harvest I've ever had. So it's really more about starting the process. What do you want that to look like for you? What are the foods that you buy from the supermarket? Now, it's probably more lucrative for me than growing this food and eating off the land than it is for someone who is used to eating fast food all the time. I love to eat fresh food. I love to eat raw food. So I've gotten my body accustomed to eating God's food the way that it grows. So because of that, I'm able to reduce my bill. Let me give you another example. I love blueberries. We got a lot of blueberries this year, but in my opinion, not enough, right? Anytime I have to go to the store and buy some blueberries, that means that I didn't grow enough of them to freeze them, to store them, to freeze dry them, to do whatever, so I don't ever have to go back and buy another blueberry. So the mission is what after learning that? After learning that, it's like, okay, we better go get another $13 blueberry. So I did. I bought 5, 6 more. That's my groceries. So 13, or let's say 12 times 6. What's that? 12.72? $72? Okay. $72 worth of groceries. But blueberries, y'all, are upwards of $7 a pack, a pint. What if I can get all the blueberries I need with my $72 mission and planting of blueberries? Because I'm not just going to get blueberries for that year, remember? I'm going to get them over and over and over again. So we really have to think about futuristically, futuristically, what this is going to be like for us. And so we won't ever be able to go completely without, except we prepare our minds to do so, prepare our palates to do so, prepare our hearts to do so, to minimize what we need, right? And that's a human process that we must practice. How, if milk is, I don't drink milk. I don't drink it. But can I get my milk from something else? I could if I get me a goat. I could get feta. I could get goat's milk. Could I get my eggs? Yes, I could grow some chickens. But what my chickens gonna eat? Maybe the acorns that drop from the tree because they love acorns. Maybe they can eat veggies from the garden. Maybe I can plant them some nice grass. At any rate, you see my point. My point is that while we will never minimize our need to go to the grocery store, we have to begin to practice what that looks like. Hey, baby. Doing a live. We have to minimize by growing our food. This little grow tent cost me about, I don't know, maybe $70. But y'all see all that food in there? It's food in there. I start my seeds in there. I start my seeds in the house. I start my seeds in the ground. I start my seeds in a pot. I start my seeds in a jar. I start my seeds wherever I can start them. So I want you all to know that you can start to reduce your bill. You can't minimize. Maybe you can't, you know, reduce it all, altogether. You can't get rid of it altogether, but you can reduce it. I challenge you today to begin to think about your one seed, one pot, one plant, one plot at a time. At a time, okay? Let us be vigilant about the safety of our families. Let us be vigilant about the possibilities that if food was removed from the shelves, how would you sustain, right? So this is a what if, a if then. If food was not available, how would you sustain, right? So it's more about practicing so that you and your family can sustain. No matter whether we've seen dire situations. For some of us, we know about the stories of the Great Depression. I was born in the 60s. I was raised in the 60s, But I can go out here now and I see them beautiful raspberries that's growing. I see them beautiful tomatoes on these vines. I see these beautiful collards that are growing everywhere. I see food, right? And so whatever's in season is what I'm eating. That's kind of how we have to practice. Whatever's in season, that's what we're eating. Okay? Because you can grow what's in season during the season. Okay? So, thank you all for subscribing to my channel. If you are liking the content that we have here, please like and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. And get started, y'all. Get started. Join my little community. Make a comment, if there's more you want to know about how to get started. Let's do it, family, um, because we need to. All right? We need to do better for ourselves. All right? I'm Dr. Eve, your health and human service educator, talking about all things living well and building your strong home economy from the soil up. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye for now.